The Silver Scout ship hung in space like a delicate needle against the black canvas of stars. Inside, 6 aliens from the Galactic Council stared at their screens in disbelief. The blue planet before them broke every rule they knew about habitable worlds. "This can't be right," muttered Chief Scientist Rock, his green scales shifting colors with stress. "The gravity readings are impossible for a living world." Kim kept her face carefully blank. As the only human on the Council's scout team, she had waited 3 years for this moment. Her real mission was to guide first contact, but for now, she played her role as just another scientist. "The readings are correct," she said, pointing to the numbers. "Gravity is 9.8 meters per second squared, almost twice what most Council races consider comfortable." The other scientists whispered among themselves. Such gravity should crush any intelligent life before it could evolve. But that wasn't even the worst part. "Look at the weather patterns," said Rock, bringing up new images. "Storms that can throw vehicles into the air. Winds that can tear buildings apart. Temperature swings of over 50 degrees in a single area." Duha nodded, remembering the hurricanes and tornadoes she'd seen back home. To these aliens, used to their carefully controlled worlds, Earth's weather must seem like chaos itself. "There's more," said another scientist, Pell. "The atmospheric scan shows oxygen levels of 21%. That's highly explosive," finished Rock. "One spark could start fires that would spread for kilometers." Duha bit back a smile. If they thought that was bad, wait until they heard about Earth's history with fire. The ship's sensors kept reporting more problems. Thousands of species of bacteria and viruses. Countless poisonous plants and animals. Predators that could run at high speeds or crush bones with their jaws. Active volcanoes. Earthquakes that could shake whole cities. "This planet is death itself," declared Rock. "Nothing intelligent could survive here. Mark it as an extreme hazard zone, and let's move on." Duha spoke up. "Shouldn't we do a closer scan, just to be sure?" Rock shook his head. "Too dangerous. The gravity alone would strain our engines. Add in those storms and atmospheric conditions. No race would be foolish enough to try living here. This is a death world, pure and simple." As the other scientists nodded in agreement, Duha typed a quick message on her personal device. "First contact preparations proceeding as planned. Council has classified Earth as expected. Awaiting Phase 2. She sent the message to Earth's hidden quantum relay station on Mars. Soon, the next part of the plan would begin. A stranded alien ship would need rescue, and Earth would reveal itself to the galaxy. Looking at the blue planet through the ship's windows, Duha thought about her home. The Council sought a deadly world of storms and predators. They saw crushing gravity and explosive air. They saw poison and disease and natural disasters. They didn't see the children playing in rain puddles after a storm. They didn't see the farmers who worked with Earth's gravity every day. They didn't see the doctors who fought those diseases, or the scientists who learned to predict those disasters. Most of all, they didn't see how these challenges had shaped humanity. Every deadly feature of Earth had pushed humans to become stronger, smarter, and more adaptable. The galaxy thought Earth was a death world. Soon, they would learn it was a proving ground, and its people were the graduates. Rock was already plotting a course away from Earth. "Add it to the warning beacons," he said. "No one should waste time here again." Duha smiled slightly. In a few weeks, a merchant ship would accidentally discover just how wrong that warning was. She couldn't wait to see Rock's face when he learned that the deadly death world wasn't just inhabited. It was ruled by humans who called it home. The scout ship turned away from Earth, its crew eager to leave the deadly planet behind. Only Duha looked back, knowing that soon the galaxy would learn an important lesson. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And humans had grown very strong indeed. Captain Hansol's merchant ship shook as it entered Earth's atmosphere. The solar storm had hit them exactly as planned, though the captain wondered if perhaps they'd made it a bit too realistic. Warning lights flashed across his control panel as the ship dropped through the clouds. "Engine 3 is failing," reported his first officer, trying to sound appropriately panicked for any listening ears. "The gravity is pulling us down too fast. Send out a distress signal," Hansol ordered, gripping his chair tightly. Even prepared as they were, Earth's gravity made the descent challenging. He could only imagine how the real aliens on his crew felt. They had picked 3 non-human crew members for this mission, carefully chosen from races known for their open-mindedness. Still, watching the genuine fear on their faces, Hansol felt a little guilty about the deception. The ship broke through the clouded layer, and the alien crew members gasped. Below them spread the gleaming towers of Seoul, its buildings reaching into the sky like silver needles. That's impossible," whispered Lex, the engineer. His antennae were twitching in shock. "This is a Deathworld. Nothing could build this here." The ship's emergency landing systems engaged, bringing them down in a cleared area just outside the city. Hansol had to admire the planning. The emergency landing zone had been prepared weeks in advance. As the dust settled around their ship, the alien crew stared through the viewports in stunned silence. Trees swayed in the wind under a blue sky. Birds flew past, and in the distance, ground vehicles moved along elevated roads between those impossible towers. "Captain," said Lex, his voice shaking. "The atmospheric sensors, they show breathable air outside. But the oxygen levels," protested the navigator. "It's explosive." A knock on the ship's hull made them all jump. Hansol checked the external cameras and had to stop himself from smiling. Right on schedule. The screen showed a human emergency response team in protective gear. Standard procedure for unknown alien contact. Leading them was Officer Jai-1, though of course she looked like just another emergency worker in her suit. "This is Earth Emergency Response," came her voice over the ship's speakers. "We detected your crash landing. Do you require assistance?" The alien crew looked at Hansol in shock. Not only was this deadly planet inhabited, but its people had enough technology to detect their landing and respond immediately. We read you," Hansol responded, watching his alien crew's reactions carefully. "We have sustained damage from a solar storm and require repairs." "Understood. We're showing dangerous radiation levels from your engine. Please remain calm, and we'll get you out safely." The rescue operation that followed was a masterpiece of planning. The emergency teams helped the crew out of the ship, checking them for injuries. Medical staff waited nearby, ready to help if the planet's higher gravity caused problems. But it was the city that really sold it. Hansol watched his alien crew members staring in awe at the vehicles flying between buildings, the crowds of humans going about their daily lives, the children playing in a nearby park, all completely at home in conditions that the galaxy considered lethal. "How?" asked Lex, watching a group of humans jogging past. "How do they just live here?" "Because this is our home," said Jai-1, finally removing her protective helmet now that initial contact protocols were complete. "We evolved here. Everything you see as deadly, we see as normal." The aliens looked at her with new understanding dawning in their eyes. This wasn't just a civilization surviving on a death world. This was a civilization that had been born from it, shaped by it, mastered it. As medical teams helped the alien crew adjust to Earth's gravity, Hansol saw news drones hovering discreetly nearby. By tomorrow, the galaxy would know. Earth wasn't just inhabited. It was the homeworld of a species that had turned every deadly challenge into a stepping stone to greatness. "Welcome to Earth," said Jai-1, smiling at the stunned aliens. "Don't worry about the gravity. You'll get used to it." Behind her, a massive transport aircraft took off into the explosive atmosphere, while children played under the deadly sun, and millions of humans went about their lives on the planet that the galaxy had labeled impossible. The Deathworld wasn't so deadly after all. It was home. Officer Jai-1 stood at the window of the Seoul International Alien Welcome Center, watching the alien crew members try Earth food for the first time. After 3 days on the planet, they were finally starting to adjust to the gravity. Now came the fun part, showing them how humans really lived. "This is spicy?" asked Lex, his antenna twitching as he tried kimchi. "You eat plants that cause pain." "Not pain," Jai-1 explained, smiling. "It's more like excitement for your mouth. Humans enjoy many strong flavors." The other aliens watched in amazement as their human hosts happily ate the spicy food. To them, it was just another example of how strange humans were. Yesterday, they had watched in shock as humans jogged in the rain. The day before, they couldn't believe humans would swim in the ocean, full of dangerous creatures. "Your people are very brave," said Lex, still trying to cool his mouth with water. Jai-1 shook her head. "Not brave. Just used to it. This is normal for us." A rumble made the building shake slightly. The aliens froze in fear, but none of the humans even looked up from their meals. "Just a small earthquake," said Jai-1. "Level 3, probably. Nothing to worry about." "Nothing to worry about." One of the aliens stared at her. "The ground itself is moving." "We have good building codes," Jai-1 explained. "And warning systems. Our scientists can often predict bigger quakes before they happen." She watched understanding grow in their eyes. Humans hadn't just survived Earth's dangers. They had learned to live with them, predict them, even use them. The spicy food that seemed painful to aliens was just another example of human adaptability. Down in the street below, a school class walked past. The alien crew rushed to the window, amazed to see human children out in the open. "But the gravity, the bacteria, the UV radiation from your sun," protested Lex. "Our children grow up strong because of the gravity," Jai-1 explained. "Their immune systems learn to fight bacteria. And see their hats and sunscreen. We adapt. We protect ourselves. We learn." Just then, Jai-1's phone buzzed. A message from Duha appeared. "Council receiving reports about Earth. They're calling an emergency meeting. Get ready for Phase 3. Jai-1 smiled. Right on schedule. She turned back to their guests, who were still watching the children play in the park across the street. "Would you like to see more of our city?" she asked. "We can take a tour, show you how we live." The aliens agreed eagerly. Their fear was turning into curiosity. That was exactly what the humans had hoped for. The tour bus drove through Seoul's streets. G1 pointed out the earthquake-proof buildings, the flood control systems, the air quality monitors. She showed them vertical farms where humans grew food despite limited space, and research centers where scientists studied Earth's deadly creatures to make new medicines. "Your whole civilization," said Lex slowly, "it's built on turning dangers into advantages." "We had to," Jai-1 explained. "Earth taught us that problems are just challenges waiting to be solved." The bus passed a construction site where workers were building a new tower. The aliens watched in amazement as humans operated heavy machinery, worked in the hot sun, and carried materials despite the high gravity. "The Council was wrong about Earth," said Lex. "They saw a Deathworld. But it's really a training ground," Jai-1 finished. "Everything that makes Earth deadly also made us stronger, smarter, more adaptable." Her phone buzzed again. Another message from Duha. "Council demanding answers. Time to reveal our presence to the galaxy." Jai-1 looked at their alien guests, who were starting to see Earth with new eyes. Soon the whole galaxy would learn about humans, about how Earth's children played under a radiation-filled sky, ate food that burned, and treated earthquakes like minor inconveniences. The galaxy would learn that what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And Earth had made humanity very strong indeed. The Great Hall of the Galactic Council erupted in chaos. On the massive screen, images from Earth played. Humans building skyscrapers, running marathons, swimming in oceans, and living normal lives in conditions the Council had declared impossible. "This must be fake," shouted one council member, his tentacles waving in distress. No species could evolve on such a world. Chief Scientist Rock stood frozen, watching the videos. He had personally classified Earth as a death world just weeks ago. Now he was watching children play soccer under its deadly gravity. "The reports are confirmed," said the council leader, tapping his screen. "The merchant ship's crash was real. They met the natives. Earth is not just inhabited, it has an advanced civilization." "But how?" Rock found his voice. "The gravity alone should have prevented complex life from developing. And the oxygen levels, the predators, the diseases." "Perhaps," said a calm voice, "you should ask an expert." Every head in the council chamber turned. Du-Ha Kim walked to the center of the room. But she looked different now. She had removed her alien disguise. You're one of them." Rock stepped back. "You're a human." "I am," said Du-Ha. "I've been Earth's representative to the council for 3 years, waiting for the right time to reveal ourselves." The council members whispered among themselves. They had worked with her, eaten with her, never knowing she came from a world they thought was too deadly for life. "Impossible," said Rock. "You worked in standard gravity chambers with us. No Deathworlder could adapt so easily." Du-Ha smiled. "Humans are very good at adapting. We had to be. Earth taught us that lesson early." She pressed a button, and new images appeared on the screen. Human history played out before the council's eyes. People surviving ice ages, taming fire, crossing oceans, climbing mountains, and eventually reaching for the stars. "Everything that made Earth deadly helped make us stronger," Du-Ha explained. "High gravity gave us strong bones and muscles. Changing weather taught us to adapt and plan. Predators made us learn to think and work together. Diseases helped us develop better medicine. But the oxygen levels," Rock protested weakly, "gave us the energy to run long distances." Du-Ha finished. "To think quickly, to build civilizations. What you see as flaws, we see as features." The council leader leaned forward. "Why reveal yourselves now?" "Because humanity is ready to join the galactic community," Du-Ha said. "And because the galaxy needs to learn an important lesson. Never judge a planet by its hazard rating." New messages were arriving from Earth. The alien crew members from the merchant ship were sending their own reports. They told stories of humans who treated earthquakes as minor inconveniences, who ate spicy food for fun, who let their children play under UV radiation with just a bit of sunscreen for protection. "This changes everything," the council leader said slowly. "All our theories about habitable worlds need updating." Du-Ha finished. "Earth isn't a death world. It's a proving ground, and humanity passed its test." Rock looked at the images again, seeing them with new eyes. The high gravity hadn't prevented life. It had made humans stronger. The oxygen-rich air hadn't caused disaster. It had powered human development. Every deadly feature had pushed humans to adapt and grow. "Welcome to the Galactic Council," the leader said finally. "Earth's representative, we have much to learn from your people." Du-Ha smiled. Phase 1 was complete. Earth had revealed itself to the galaxy. Now came the interesting part, teaching the galaxy that what they saw as deadly challenges were really opportunities for growth. On the screen behind her, a human child played with a pet dog, a descendant of wolves that humans had befriended instead of fearing. It was the perfect symbol of humanity, taking Earth's challenges and turning them into advantages. The death world wasn't so deadly after all. It was just tough enough to create a species that could handle anything the galaxy might throw at them. Not everyone in the Galactic Council was happy about Earth joining their ranks. A group of 5 alien races, led by the proud Vax species, refused to believe humans were natural. "They must be engineered," declared Vax leader Sura in the council chamber. His silver scales flashed with anger. No species could evolve naturally on such a hostile world. Commander Tahoe of Earth's Defense Force stood calmly before the council. He had expected this reaction. Some aliens would not accept that nature alone had created humans. "We evolved naturally," Tahoe said simply. Earth shaped us, made us strong. Prove it, Sura demanded. Prove humans are not artificial creatures. Duha, standing next to Taiho, stepped forward. How would you like us to prove it? Sura's eyes gleamed. This was what he had waited for, a series of tests, physical challenges, mental challenges, survival challenges. If humans truly evolved on a death world, they should pass easily. The council chamber grew quiet. Everyone watched Taiho. Would humans accept this challenge? Taiho smiled. We accept. Name your tests. 3 challenges, Sura said. First, survival in high gravity, twice what Earth has. Second, adaptation to extreme temperature changes. Third, handling multiple threats at once. Some council members gasped. These tests would be deadly for most species, but Taiho just nodded. When do we start? 1 week, Sura said. Bring your best humans. They will need all their supposed Deathworld strength. After the meeting, Duha found Taiho in the Earth Embassy. He was already planning for the challenges. They think they're setting us up to fail, Duha said. They don't understand. No, Taiho agreed. They don't know that these challenges are easier than what some humans do for fun. He showed her his tablet. On it were pictures of human mountain climbers, deep sea divers, and extreme sports athletes. Earth's gravity had made humans strong. Its weather had made them adaptable. Its dangers had made them alert and quick-thinking. I've chosen our team, Taiho said. A mountain rescue worker, a deep-sea scientist, and a wilderness survival expert. Not soldiers, Duha asked, surprised. We're not trying to fight, Taiho explained. We're trying to show how normal humans handle tough conditions, how Earth taught us to adapt and survive. His tablet beeped. A message from Earth showed new videos of humans doing what the aliens thought impossible. Diving in crushing ocean depths, climbing in thin mountain air, running ultramarathons across deserts. Sura thinks he's challenging us, Taiho said. But really, he's giving us a chance to show what humans can do. What Earth taught us to do. Duha smiled. They see Earth as a death world. They don't understand it's a training ground. Exactly, Taiho said. Every challenge on Earth made us stronger. Now we can show the galaxy what that means. In the embassy's window, they could see the alien city outside. Its carefully controlled environment was perfect for most species. But humans had learned to live in deserts and Arctic tundra, in deep valleys and high mountains. 1 week, Duha said. Time to show them what Deathworlders can do. Taiho nodded. The aliens thought their tests would prove humans were artificial. Instead, the tests would prove something else. Earth hadn't just let humans survive. It had taught them to thrive in conditions that would break most species. Sura and his followers would learn soon enough. You can't scare people who grew up on a death world. You can only give them another chance to show why they survived it. The testing chamber looked like something from a nightmare. Double Earth's gravity pulled at everything. Temperature swings could freeze or cook a person in minutes, and hidden threats waited to test reaction speed and thinking. But Yujin, the young scientist from Earth's team, just smiled as she checked her equipment. The gravity's not so bad, she told the worried alien observers. It's like wearing a heavy backpack while hiking. Sura watched from the control room, his silver scales tight with tension. The first human was about to enter his impossible test. Maiho, the mountain rescue worker, stepped into the chamber first. The extra gravity made her movement slower, but she didn't fall like the aliens expected. Instead, she adapted her walking style, keeping her balance easily. Impossible, whispered one of Sura's advisors. She's moving in double gravity like it's normal. Because Earth's gravity made us strong, Yujin explained. Our bones, our muscles, they're built for tough conditions. The chamber's temperature dropped to freezing. Frost formed on the walls. Maiho just zipped up her jacket and kept moving. When the temperature swung to burning hot minutes later, she drank water and continued her tasks. Humans, Yujin said proudly, can survive in temperatures from -50 to +50 degrees Celsius with basic protection. Earth's weather taught us to adapt. The second trial began. Sung Jin, the deep-sea scientist, entered a water-filled chamber. The pressure would crush most species, but humans had explored Earth's deep oceans, and Sung Jin knew how to handle pressure. "Your world has such dangers everywhere," said an alien observer. "How do you live with it?" "We learn from it," Yujin said. "Every danger teaches us something new. Look." In the chamber, Sung Jin was showing how humans had learned to work in high-pressure environments. He moved carefully but confidently, completing complex tasks underwater while the pressure squeezed everything. And now, Sura announced, the final trial. Multiple threats at once. The last challenger was Kang, the wilderness expert. He entered a chamber filled with obstacles, changing threats, and puzzles that needed quick thinking. The aliens watched, sure that no one could handle so many dangers at once. But Earth had taught humans to stay alert, to think fast, to adapt quickly. Kang moved through the course like he was taking a walk in a park. When new threats appeared, he adjusted. When puzzles blocked his path, he solved them. "This is what Earth taught us," Yujin explained to the amazed aliens. "Every day on our world has multiple challenges. Weather changes suddenly. Animals can be dangerous. Even the ground can shake without warning. We learn to handle it all at once." In the test chamber, Kang finished the course in record time. The aliens checked their instruments again and again. Sure, there must be a mistake. "And here's something else," Yujin said, holding up a small device. "While my friends were doing your tests, I made this, a gravity adapter for your people, so you can visit Earth safely." Sura stared at the device. You solved our gravity problem while we were trying to prove you couldn't handle it yourselves." "Earth taught us something else," Yujin said. "Don't just survive challenges. Learn from them. Use them to help others." The test chambers powered down. The human team had passed every trial easily, but they had done more than that. They had shown the galaxy that Earth's dangers weren't just obstacles to survive. They were opportunities to learn and grow. "Maybe," Sura said slowly, looking at Yujin's gravity device, "we were wrong about Earth. It's not a death world. It's a teacher," Yujin finished. "The best teacher we could have had. And now we can share what it taught us with the galaxy." Outside the testing chamber, news of the human success was already spreading through the council. Earth's children had proved themselves. The Deathworld had created not monsters, but pioneers who could help the whole galaxy grow stronger. Security Chief Minna knew something was wrong. The success of the human trials had been too much for some aliens to accept. Now, watching camera feeds from across the council station, she spotted suspicious movements. "Look at this," she told Duha, pointing to her screen. 3 VAC scientists entering the testing chambers late at night. "They're not on the maintenance schedule." Duha leaned closer. "Sura's people." "Yes, and they're carrying equipment that wasn't checked by security." The humans had impressed most of the council with their performance in the trials, but a small group, led by some of Sura's followers, still refused to believe humans were natural. And now, they were planning something. Minna pulled up more security feeds. "They've requested another demonstration tomorrow. Want to show more council members how humans handle the challenges. But first they're messing with the equipment," Duha said, understanding. "They're going to rig the tests." "Exactly." Minna tapped some commands into her computer. "They don't know that Earth's security systems are better than they think. I can see everything they're doing." The camera showed the VAC scientists installing new devices in the gravity chamber. They were changing the controls, making them more extreme than the agreed levels. In the temperature chamber, they were tampering with the safety limits. "They want to prove humans are lying," Minna said, "by making the tests impossible to survive." "We should stop them now," Duha suggested. But Minna shook her head. "I have a better idea. Let's show them why you don't try to trap people from a death world. The next day, the council gathering was larger than before. Many wanted to see the human demonstrations again. The vac scientists looked nervous but confident their plan would work. Taiho stood ready to enter the chamber. Minna had quietly warned him about the tampering, but instead of exposing the plot, he had smiled and said, "Earth taught us to handle unexpected dangers." The first chamber activated. The gravity surged way past the planned levels. The vac scientists waited for Taiho to collapse. Instead, he adjusted his stance and kept moving. On Earth, he had trained in gravity chambers that went even higher. The vacs didn't know that humans regularly practiced in extreme conditions. "Impossible," one of the plotters whispered. "The gravity is 3 times Earth normal." "You mean it's like carrying a heavy pack up a mountain?" Taiho called out cheerfully. "We do that for fun on Earth." The temperature chamber was next. They had set it to shift between burning hot and freezing cold in seconds. But Taiho's suit, designed for Earth's wildest weather, handled it easily. "Temperatures a bit uneven," he commented casually, "like spring weather in the mountains." Minna watched the vac scientists growing more panicked. Their sabotage wasn't working. Instead of proving humans were fake, they were showing just how well Earth had prepared its people for anything. "Should we stop this?" Duha asked quietly. "Not yet," Minna said. "The whole council needs to see this. Need to understand that humans don't just survive Earth's challenges. We master them." The final chamber was supposed to be the trap that proved everything. The vacs had programmed it with impossible combinations of threats. But they didn't understand something important about humans. Earth had already taught its people to handle impossible things. Taiho moved through the chamber like he was dancing. Every trap, every challenge, every surprise just showed how well humans could adapt. The council watched in amazement. Even the vac scientists stared in shock. "Now," Minna said, standing up. "Now we show them what really happened." She played the security footage on the main screen. The whole council saw the late-night sabotage, saw how the humans had handled it anyway, saw how Earth's children turned traps into triumphs. The plotters had tried to prove humans didn't belong in the galaxy. Instead, they had proved something else. Earth hadn't just made humans strong. It had made them unstoppable. After their plot was exposed, Sura and his followers faced a choice from the council: either accept punishment for their sabotage or spend 1 week on Earth to understand humans better. Thinking Earth would be the worst punishment, they chose the planet. They were wrong. "The gravity adapters will help," Jin explained as their ship landed in New Zealand. "But you'll still feel Earth's other features naturally." Sura looked out the window nervously. The council had chosen New Zealand because it showed many of Earth's deadly features in one small area: mountains, volcanoes, oceans, and rapidly changing weather. "We'll start easy," said Taiho, who led the expedition. "Just a walk to see some local wildlife." The aliens stepped out of their ship. Even with gravity adapters, they moved carefully. The air felt thick with oxygen. The sun seemed too bright. And the sounds, so many sounds from birds and insects and wind. "Is that smoke?" Sura pointed at a distant mountain. "Active volcano," Taiho said calmly. "Don't worry. Our monitoring systems will warn us if it gets dangerous." They walked along a forest path. The aliens jumped at every bird call and rustling leaf. Sura kept looking at his instruments, not believing the readings. "The oxygen levels," he muttered. "Everything should be burning." "Earth life evolved with it," Jin explained. "It gives us energy. Lets us think faster, move quicker." Suddenly, the ground shook. A small earthquake, common in New Zealand. The aliens fell to the ground in panic, but their human guides stayed standing, adjusting their balance naturally. "How?" Sura asked, getting up shakily. "How do you live like this?" "Practice," Taiho said simply. "Earth teaches us from birth." Then the weather changed. In minutes, sunny skies turned to rain. The aliens huddled under cover, sure that the acidic water would hurt them. "It's just rain," Eugen laughed, standing in it. "Earth's way of watering its plants. Come try it." Slowly, carefully, Sura reached out a hand. The water felt pleasant, cool and clean. Like Earth was washing away his old ideas. They spent the week seeing more of Earth. They watched surfers ride ocean waves that could crush ships. They saw children playing soccer in the rain. They visited a farm where humans grew food in soil that was basically volcanic rock. "Your people," Sura said on the last day, watching a rescue helicopter fly through mountain winds that would ground most alien ships. "They don't just survive here. They love it." "Earth is tough," Taiho agreed, "but fair. It challenges us, but also gives us what we need to meet those challenges." The week changed everything. When they returned to the council, Sura and his group were different. They had felt Earth's gravity, breathed its air, seen its power. But more importantly, they had seen how humans worked with these dangers, not against them. "We were wrong," Sura told the council. "Humans aren't artificial. They're exactly what Earth needed them to be." He showed pictures from their trip. Humans farming despite volcanic soil, building despite earthquakes, sailing despite storms. Each danger had made humans adapt, learn, grow stronger. "The most amazing thing," Sura said, "isn't that they survive Earth. It's that they made it into a home. They turned every danger into a tool for growth." The council listened as Sura, once Earth's biggest doubter, explained how wrong they had all been. Earth wasn't a death world that somehow produced life. It was a training ground that had shaped humanity into exactly what the galaxy needed. A species that didn't run from challenges, but learned from them. A people who turned obstacles into opportunities. A civilization that could teach the galaxy how to be stronger. The aliens had gone to Earth expecting punishment. Instead, they found understanding. Earth had taught them the same lesson. It taught humanity. What looks impossible is often just the next step in growing stronger. 1 year after Earth joined the Galactic Council, the planet that was once labeled a death world had become the galaxy's favorite teaching ground. At the new Human Adaptation Training Center in Seoul, Duha watched aliens from 100 worlds learn what Earth had to teach. Ready for today's class, she asked Eugen, who had become the center's lead scientist. Always, Eugen smiled, checking her gravity controls. "Today we're teaching them about mountains." The training room was full of alien visitors wearing Eugen's improved gravity adapters. Some were diplomats learning how to visit Earth. Others were scientists studying Earth's unique features. Many were just curious about the world that had created humanity. "Mountains seem simple," Eugen told her class. "They're just big rocks. But they teach important lessons about handling tough conditions." On the training room screens, images showed Earth's great mountains. The aliens watched in amazement as videos played of humans climbing peaks, skying down slopes, and building cities in thin mountain air. "Every challenge has a solution," Eugen explained. "Low oxygen. We adapt our breathing. Cold temperatures. We make better clothes. Steep cliffs. We learn to climb." In another part of the center, Taiho was teaching alien security forces how humans handled multiple threats at once. His students were learning that Earth's constant challenges had taught humans to stay alert and think quickly. "Your world has so many dangers," one alien student said, "but you turned each one into an advantage." "That's the real lesson Earth teaches," Taiho replied. "Don't just survive challenges. Learn from them. Grow stronger because of them." The center had other teachers too. Minna taught aliens about human security systems, developed to handle Earth's many threats. Sung Jin showed them how humans explored deep oceans. Meiho demonstrated mountain rescue techniques. Even Sura had joined them. The former doubter now helped new aliens understand Earth's lessons. He knew better than anyone how wrong the galaxy had been about Earth. "We thought this world was too deadly for life," he told his own students. We didn't understand that its challenges created exactly what the galaxy needed. In the center's main hall, a new group of alien visitors arrived. They looked nervous, like all newcomers did. Earth's gravity felt heavy even with adapters. Its air seemed too thick with oxygen. Its weather changed too quickly. But Duha saw something in their eyes that she recognized: curiosity. The same drive to learn and adapt that Earth had given humanity. "Welcome to Earth," she told them. "You're here because your worlds face challenges. Maybe your gravity is changing. Maybe your weather is getting stronger. Maybe you need to learn how to handle new dangers." The aliens nodded. Many worlds in the galaxy were changing. They needed to learn how to adapt. "Earth will teach you," Duha promised, "just like it taught us. Every challenge here made humans stronger. Now we can help you grow stronger too." Outside the center's windows, Seoul's towers reached into the sky. Flying vehicles moved between buildings. In a nearby park, children played while their parents watched calmly, even as a small earthquake shook the ground. This was Earth's gift to the galaxy, not just the strength to survive, but the wisdom to learn from every challenge. The determination to keep trying. The creativity to find new solutions. A year ago, Duha told the new visitors, the galaxy called Earth a Deathworld. Now they call it something else. "What do they call it?" asked one of the aliens. Duha smiled. "The learning world. Because that's what Earth does best. It teaches, it challenges, it helps you grow." The aliens looked out at the city, seeing it with new eyes. They had come to the planet they once feared, ready to learn its lessons, ready to discover what humans had always known. Earth wasn't a death world. It was life's greatest teacher, and its lessons would help the whole galaxy grow stronger together.